Hey there, it's Sony. This is a February 2022 general reading for Libra. In this video, I'll be looking at the vibe you're stepping out of, the vibe you're tapping into, the challenges you'll face along the way, where you should focus your strengths in the process, and what you can gain from the transition. I'll also be pulling a couple of oracle cards to let you know the inner knowledge that will be guiding you and where you can work on your manifestations for the month. So go ahead and start. Remind these are general readings, so take whatever resonates and leave behind for others what doesn't. Okay. All right, so first of all, we have here Queen of Cups as the vibe you're stepping out of. The Magician is the vibe you're tapping into. Ace of Wands is the challenge along the way. The Devil, where to focus your strengths. The Lovers, what you can gain during the transition. Seems like a lot of heavy hitting cards here. And the bottom of the deck is Ace of Pentacles, which I take as the energy influencing the reading or kind of lesson that can be learned. So I'm going to do some clarification cards, but in terms of what I see here, it's a pretty good reading. I see the Queen of Cups as you, Libra, and in terms of the vibe you're stepping out of, perhaps it could be that you are involved in a relationship, or you're trying to do some spiritual work. You're doing some healing work, but basically the Queen of Cups I see as an energy of nurturing, compassion, and kind of self-love, self-care, and care for others. In terms of the vibe you are tapping into, the Magician, I see that as basically having confidence, knowing what you have in terms of skills and ability, having resources to manifest whatever it is that you want for your future. And the question is, what is it that you do want for the future? I think that's one of the hardest questions that people have to face in terms of creating the reality that they want to live in. And that can be what this Ace of Wands stands for in the challenge position. So basically, it's going to be a challenge for finding that seed of inspiration. And in terms of where to focus the strength, you have the Devil card here. So it could be to focus your strengths in not repeating old patterns. If you're noticing that some type of habit that you have is taking up more of your time, attention, energy, it's kind of having a negative effect on your ability to tap into your creativity and inspiration. Perhaps focus your strength in overcoming those negative patterns or addictions in some cases. Could even be an addiction to romance, finding the perfect partner. The Lover's card is what you will gain in this transition. It could be romantic love, but it can also be platonic love. Lovers, I see, is just making a choice for the future of a partnership. It could be business, it could be friendship, and with stepping out of the Queen of Cups, it could be romantic love. So I will go ahead and look at some clarifiers here. I usually do the top and bottom of the deck. I think it's interesting that the Ace of Pentacles, oh man, all of these are, whoops, let's see. I'm going to pull these down, see them a little bit better. I do think it's interesting that the Ace of Pentacles here, I think it's interesting that the Ace of Pentacles here is the influencing energy, or the lesson here, because Ace is usually like prosperity, abundance, but it's kind of an offering. You can see kind of like the Ace of Wands. It's like a seed. They're both seeds of opportunities. And basically you do have to put in the work. You can have the tools available, but you're going to need to know what to do with them, and you're going to have to put in the work to actually get the result that you want. And it all starts with making a choice that you want to commit yourself to. So I'll go ahead and get clarification of the Queen of Cups. So you have here the Seven of Cups and the Five of Wands. So this kind of indicates to me that you were dealing with a situation where you were emotionally invested in something, but it wasn't clear what exactly you wanted from it, and there was some conflict maybe with yourself about what your priorities were. Could be minor annoyances that you were finding, and not exactly knowing what it is you want. In terms of the Magician, get a clarification of that. We have the High Priestess at the top of the deck. High Priestess at the top, Nine of Swords at the bottom. So High Priestess is kind of a intuitive knowing. It's kind of when you are still and you have a feeling where kind of gut's taking you in a certain direction. The Knight of Swords, there's not really stillness at all. It's almost the opposite of it. It's just a go, go, go concept. And so in a way those energies seem conflicting, but I guess when you are the Magician and you need to have a moment of stillness to kind of figure out the direction you want to go in, and I need to place you on hold so I can let my kitty cat out. And I'm back. Okay, so as I was saying, High Priestess and Knight of Swords. Basically, there's a lesson to be learned in knowing how to use your knowledge and your power to, pursue your truth. And that lesson is kind of tapping into your inner knowing. So that's the vibe you're stepping into. In terms of the Ace of Wands being the challenge, I'm going to get a couple of clarifiers here. And the Six of Wands is the top, and the Hermit is the bottom of the deck as the clarifiers. So the Six of Wands is kind of your community has recognized your achievements and there's victory there. And the Hermit is an energy of, I guess, of a person who would be more isolated and withdrawn from the crowd. So again, these are kind of conflicting. Question to kind of ask with the Six of Wands is the recognition deserved? Is it recognition that was earned, wanted? And in terms of the Hermit, what is the time alone? How is it going to be used, or how has it been used? And I think it's interesting where the High Priestess is kind of, I think of as a calm, quiet energy, as is the Hermit. And even in the Magician, there's some contemplation there, an intention, focus. And the vibe you're stepping out of is also kind of an isolated, at least in the card, it's kind of like an isolated, calming energy. What's interesting is with this, where to focus your strength, you have the Devil. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card of the Devil, there are two people that are kind of chained, have chains around their neck, and the Devil is kind of perched over them. In this card, you can see there's kind of almost like a puppet, string master, or the puppet master here with the Devil. So it kind of indicates more than one person involved in that, or could be the effect would be on more than one person. So let me take a look at that clarifier on the top and bottom of the deck. You have the King of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So that's interesting, and basically in order for the King of Cups to maintain stability and not be overloaded with emotions, the King of Cups really needs to have clear focus. The swords could be, cutting attachments to things or people that no longer serve the best interest of the King of Cups. So I would say you're going to want to tap into having clarity. King of Cups, if you look at the dark side of the King of Cups, it could be someone who uses alcohol or substance to control their emotions. And with the Ace here, Ace of Swords, the dark side of the Ace of Swords can be someone who kind of uses thought manipulation or power to their own advantage. So it's somewhere to, or something to focus your strengths on, is kind of making sure that you have your own best interests and the best interests of others at heart, and to kind of make sure that you're not being pulled to the dark side of certain energies when it comes to emotion and thought. In terms of what you'll gain, the Lovers. Let's see, clarification of that. You have 2 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. So basically, I see the 2 and 3 of Wands as being in a place where you're comfortable and looking out and feeling a desire for more, and not necessarily leaving your comfort zone, kind of feeling things are too big for you, but then in the 3, kind of stepping outside of that comfort zone and actually making those connections. I also kind of see the 3 of Wands when it comes to romantic love as like online dating, internet, things like that. That's the way I kind of see that. So that's what I have for you in terms of the month. But I'm gonna pull an oracle card here to represent the inner knowing that will be guiding you for February 2022. We have their owl spirit, it's wisdom. So for our owl spirit, you kind of look at the concept of owls in general. They have great sight when it comes to heights and darkness, and basically they're associated with the element of air. So I think with this owl wisdom, it's kind of reminding you to make sure that you have a good overview of the situation, kind of step back, have an objective view of things, and use your life experience, your prior experiences, your experiences where you were water of water and connected intuitively to kind of help you to transition in the month. And in terms of what you can work on manifesting this month, we have freedom. So you can see in this view of the card of freedom, let's see if you can see it a little bit better there. There is somebody inside of a cage. Interestingly, the devil here, even though there's no cage in this form of the devil, there are different tarot decks where the devil is holding someone inside of a cage, or there are people that are kind of chained to the devil in the card. In terms of what you can gain, if you can use your past experience, have a overarching view of the situation, and focus your strength on changing kind of maybe past negative patterns, thinking patterns, attitudes, habits. Maybe you can gain some freedom, steps outside of your comfort zone, and kind of explore the things that you've been wanting to explore. And take your first step in that direction. So this is what I have for you, Libra. I hope that you've gained some insight, and we'll see you next time.